Recently, reMarkable, a company that produces e-ink tablets, have announced a new product, the Paper Pro. I feel like the reMarkable Paper Pro is primarily a love letter to the reMarkable community, as it adds a bunch of features that the community have requested that were absent in the reMarkable 2. Though it should be noted that the reMarkable Paper Pro isn't intended to replace the reMarkable 2, rather the reMarkable 2 is now their cheaper and smaller offering. By the way, if you aren't already familiar with reMarkable's products, try to keep in mind that they're supposed to replace your notebook and be as minimal and distraction free as possible. So if anything about this device doesn't make sense, then try to view it through that lens. That said though, let's talk about what's new with the reMarkable Paper Pro. Right now, on the Linux Lounge. First, let's talk about the reMarkable Paper Pro's biggest new feature, its large colour e-ink screen. The intention here is that not only can you make notes in colour, but also you can read colour comics and look at colour documents on the device. Colour on the reMarkable Paper Pro screen is achieved using e-ink Gallery 3 technology, which is, as far as I know, the best in class. Though of course keep in mind that colour on e-ink is still miles behind LCD, and in fact, it's behind black and white e-ink in some respects. For example, colour e-ink displays tend to be darker and have less black and white contrast than black and white e-ink displays. That said though, I think for most people the trade-off is going to be worth it. Furthermore, the Paper Pro adds a front light, which should help to mitigate the fact that colour e-ink displays tend to be darker. This has also been a highly requested feature, and with good reason. It'll be really cool to be able to use a reMarkable in any lighting condition. It's not clear yet whether you can change the temperature of the front light. Hopefully you can, because I would really like to use a reMarkable with an amber glow. Certainly it would be strange if it was entirely blue light. One concern with the reMarkable was that if they added a front light, there would be a large distance between the tip of your pen and the actual ink layer, leading to a less than ideal writing experience. Thankfully though, this has been kept to less than 1mm, which may actually be less than the reMarkable 2, which doesn't have a front light. So I've got to say the engineering behind the Paper Pro's display is really impressive. The next detail of the Paper Pro's display that I want to talk about is the fact that they're now using textured glass as opposed to plastic for the display surface, which apparently leads to a more durable and paper-like experience. Now admittedly, glass isn't exactly the first material that comes to my mind when I think of paper-like, but it does seem that the absolute geniuses at reMarkable have actually made glass feel like paper. The final improvement to the reMarkable Paper Pro's display over the reMarkable 2 is that it's now bigger. It's 11.8 inches large versus the reMarkable 2's 9.7 inches. I must admit that while I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate the larger size, I thought that the reMarkable 2 was the perfect size for reading and writing notes. It kind of makes me wish that reMarkable had made a Paper Pro and a Paper Pro Mini. But oh well, I guess. I hope that people enjoy their larger reMarkables. The next thing of note with the Paper Pro is that the first-party cases available for it are quite considerably improved. First, the normal folio case without the keyboard is available in a huge variety of different materials, including mosaic weave, polymer weave, and genuine leather, with a selection of different colours available as well. This is compared to the reMarkable 2 that had quite a few less options available. The Type Folio, which is reMarkable's keyboard case, is also vastly improved. Compared to the one available for the reMarkable 2, it adds a palm rest, a backlit keyboard, larger keys, and a better system to adjust your view of the tablet. The only negative thing that I have to say about these cases is that they aren't being offered for the reMarkable 2. If you want all of the improvements to the Folio or the Type Folio, you've got to buy a Paper Pro. I mean, I guess that makes the Paper Pro a no-brainer for someone who types a lot, but I would have really liked to have seen these improvements being offered for the reMarkable 2. The next improvement that the Paper Pro has over the reMarkable 2 is improved hardware specifications. Most notably, the Paper Pro nets you 64GB of storage as opposed to the reMarkable 2's 8GB. I can imagine this being useful if you want to store a lot of comic books or PDF documents on your now colour screen reMarkable. The Paper Pro also has a quad-core CPU and 2GB of RAM. While those aren't exactly top of the line specs, I do think that they'll help the Paper Pro feel somewhat snappier than its predecessors, even if they weren't necessarily slow. Although, if I recall right, the reMarkable 2 does tend to struggle with larger PDF files, so hopefully the extra hardware power should help with that. Also, the reMarkable actually has a pretty large hacking scene, so hopefully that extra hardware power should amount to something there. So, those are pretty much all of the new features of the Paper Pro. As you can see, they're actually pretty substantial improvements. As you would expect, the Paper Pro does cost more than the reMarkable 2 at £559 versus the reMarkable 2's cost of £389. I'd probably expect to pay more than that too, since although those prices do include the reMarkable pen, it doesn't include the folio case, which you'll probably want if you're going to take your reMarkable anywhere. That costs an extra £79 for the cheapest folio, and £169 for the genuine leather folio. If you want the type folio, that'll set you back a cool £219. So I guess the obvious question here, given the high price tag, is it worth it? And I guess my answer to that is the extremely unhelpful, it depends. First, keep in mind that e-ink is never cheap. The only reason that Amazon and Kobo are able to sell their e-ink devices for so cheap is because they subsidize the cost of their products with book sales. A bit like console manufacturers, for instance. reMarkable don't have that benefit. Furthermore, given the fact that the reMarkable's feature set is incredibly limited, you'll only have to replace the device when it either breaks or a new one comes out with features that you want. No planned obsolescence here. So you'll probably be using your reMarkable for years to come. So in that respect, I think the reMarkable is absolutely worth the investment if you have some specific use case for a paper tablet and aren't just buying it as a sort of expensive toy. Although if you do want to do that, don't let me discourage you. So if after hearing all of this, you've decided that you want a Paper Pro, where and when can you get one? Well, you can get it from reMarkable's website as of a few days ago. I absolutely love it when a company announces a product that you can actually buy on the spot. No pre-orders or speculations or buying into hype here. You can get a Paper Pro today. Anyways, that's everything that I have to say about the reMarkable Paper Pro. Overall, I'm really impressed with what reMarkable have come up with, and I can't wait to see user reviews when they start to come out. But with that said though, that's it for today's video. What do you think of the Paper Pro? Will you be buying one? Let me know in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.